Good evening and welcome to If I Ruled the World, the show that does for politics what Bill Clinton does for his female staff. And joining Jeremy Hardy on the red team tonight is Pauline McLynn, and with Graeme Garden on the blues, Gordon Kennedy. The first game we're in tonight is called Soapbox. Now, we've seen a budget for women this week, but how far has sexual equality really come? So, Graeme, where do you stand on female emancipation?
Well, there are those, Clive, who say that a woman's place is in the kitchen and the bedroom, but yes. Clearly women have other places, in the back of the car, up an alley, and in the Oval Office.
Yes.
The point being that men and women are quite different. There are biological differences between them. Men are driven to seek out many partners, for example, whereas women mate only once. At least they do with me.
OK, all right. Jeremy, do you go along with that?
Let me say we've been very worried about stories of sexual harassment in various occupations, and we're worried that this will encourage women to give up work. So what we need to do is to encourage sexual harassment of women on benefit, so that they have the incentive to go into work.
Yes.
There's clearly an imbalance at the moment.
Yes. Well, can I bring in...
By all means, go ahead. Go ahead. In your own time.
Politician.
Don't worry your fluffy head about the difficult stuff.
Do you support your leader on this one?
Well, I do. I think that it's clear that the House of Commons has improved greatly since over 100 new female members were elected. The toilet facilities have improved greatly. We now have a blue flush and some lovely carpet around the toilet bowl. And the seats are down, which is very important. My male colleagues have stopped lighting their farts in public. And I think that a lot of the older male members are enjoying the creche facilities, which we now have. The bibs, the bonnets, the rattles, and they are, of course, all free of charge, as opposed to a seedy club in Soho.
Yes. Well, on that note, perhaps we could go to you, Gordon Kennedy. What's your position on women?
Let's look at the flip side. We've heard a lot about, women get the hard deal, but boys, for instance, are underachieving in schools. I mean, only 1 in 3 are achieving basic GCSE grades in mathematics. Now, we want to improve that. We wanted to get up to 1 in 5, or maybe even 1 in 7.
Yeah.
Who knows? But also, I think we can look to America.
Yes.
For this.
It's a long way.
And, well, I can look to America, because I'm slightly taller than you, obviously. Let's look at Bill Clinton. Now, there's a man who's put women in very interesting positions in the White House.
Yes.
And in fact, I understand that his dynamic thrusting approach has left many of his employees open-mouthed.
Yes.
It's interesting, yes.
He, of course, denies all these allegations. I mean, you've heard them all, do you?
I don't call them allegations, I call them character references.
It also has to be said that there are many men like myself who enjoy belonging to organisations like the MCC or gentlemen's clubs, which don't permit women to enter them. And for us, there is nothing nicer to be allowed to have your dinner in peace and quiet, and then to relax with a glass of brandy beside a roaring fascist.
Could I pick up the issue of girls doing better than boys in school? Now, we are concerned about this. Clearly, girls haven't been told about tuition fees and student loans. Otherwise, they wouldn't be bothering to try at all.
Can I say that, unlike the Red Party, the Blue Party is prepared to bow to public opinion about all these exclusive clubs, and we're prepared to let women in to the MCC.
Oh, really?
Yes, well, it's been 200 years. The place must be a mess. The ashtrays must be full. Think of the number of the sherry glasses that need cleaned, really. I think that's fair. And
I think the ashtrays are right, because there haven't been any ashes there for quite some time. Anyway, let's go on to another round now, which is called It's a Stick-Up. And this is where we investigate the problem of understanding political posters. Graeme and Gordon, this is the latest offering from your political central office. Now, that looks like... This is a story that's been in the news this week, I think. It's an asteroid or a hemorrhoid on its way to hitting the globe. But what's it mean politically?
The caption to this has to be read out with an accent. Our policy on Ireland. Asteroid approach, all right.
Perhaps a different accent, then.
Yes.
And is it significant? It's aiming towards Britain, or is it...
Yes, it is. In fact, the caption that should go for this poster is that we have plans for Wolverhampton Town Centre.
Can you interpret that in any sort of political way,
The millennium Why bother?
Well, let's take a look at your poster, see if it's any better.
I wish they hadn't used this photograph. It's very embarrassing.
To me, the caption is, I have a dream.
This could be a message for our friends in the business community. We'll support you no matter how big a prick you are.
Glad you've raised the tone of political debate on that side of the house.
If we stimulate growth too much, we'll be left with a mess on our hands.
OK, now it's time for the first of our votes. It's just an opinion poll to see how you might be voting at the end of the programme. But if you're favouring the red party, you vote red now. Favouring the blue, vote blue. And do it now. Oh, and that's a fantastic roll for red. 72%, Blaze 28. I think that's... Now that's... Well,
Clearly...
Do you think it was the enormous lunchbox that swung it for you?
I think clearly its size is important.
Yes. But 72%, that's a massive,
That's a stonking great
it is,
majority.
You can't maintain that sort of...
Well, for half an hour, maybe.
No, I don't want to come to you in your deepest moments of gloom, though, of course, it could get worse. But 28%, that's you're down to the Scottish nationalists in Woking. They get more than that.
Well, no, Clive, we're very excited by this excellent result.
Yes.
The polls are notoriously unreliable, so I don't think we want to be complacent at the moment.